More Major League Soccer transfer news. ESPN's Rob Dawson reporting Jesse Lingard is set to travel to the U.S. later this summer to hear pitches from multiple Major League Soccer teams. The England international is 29 years old. He's out of contract at Manchester United. There is reported Premier League interest from at least West Ham and Everton. All right, Herc, it's being reported that these so-called deals are, quote, groundbreaking deals. What do you think? Is Jesse Lingard worth it? Is he the guy you build your MLS team around?
I don't like the way you phrase that question, build your MLS team around. I know what you're trying to do right now, Sebastian Salazar. Listen, he's 29 years old. He's a very good footballer, right? At West Ham, because he's on the outs at United, so he wasn't getting any love, wasn't getting any playing time. When he went to West Ham, he was very productive. I mean, 9 goals, 5 assists in 16 games. He's 29 years old. I seriously think he can do some damage at the Major League Soccer level. The reality here, though, is he's only got a handful of teams he could actually play for in Major League Soccer that he'd probably want to play for, right? What do you got? Your LA teams, your Florida teams, maybe your New York area teams. That's only a handful if we're being honest. But I think this is a player you take a chance with. I think this is a player you roll the dice with. I think he can do a lot of damage in this league.
I think there's probably some fair questions about his ambition, right? It's a guy who's 29 years old. Anytime a player in their prime goes from Europe to MLS, somebody's going to question ambition. But this is a guy, you mentioned the very successful stint at West Ham. They obviously wanted to keep him, and he goes back to Manchester United to fight for a spot at his boyhood club. That might tell us a little bit something about his ambition. I think he's going to be motivated as well, although I don't know what you think. Looking at the roster now, he seems like a pretty long shot to get back into the England team. Yeah. There's obviously a lot of competition.
He did play Nations League, though.
I just wonder how Gareth Southgate would look at it, right? And I'm sure that's part of the consideration here for Jesse Lingard. What I do really like about it, and you and I talked about this kind of off the air, is this is a move that is not about a name, it's about a player, right? Yeah. Like Jesse Lingard's not going to sell a bunch of jerseys or sell a bunch of tickets unless he starts to play well, the team around him starts to play well. This is a move specifically about soccer. And there was a time in MLS where name came first. This wouldn't be that, would it?
No, absolutely not. You'd say he doesn't move the needle. He won't put butts in the seat. He's not going to sell tickets. It's not that kind of marketing tool, if you will. But I think Major League Soccer is getting past that. They're past because they want to shed that image, right? Or at least that retirement image. That retirement image came with trying to put players, certain players, on the field to generate ticket sales. This would be a strictly, what can you do for me on the field type of move? Can you help my team get better? Can you help me win a championship?
So let's think about which teams might be interested in this. The reports tell us it's either LA or Florida, so that kind of narrows it down, right? It gives us the 2 teams in Los Angeles, Inter Miami, and Orlando City as well. Who do you think needs Jesse Lingard right now the most of those 4 candidates, Herc?
Hear me out for a second before you go all Sebi Salazar on me.
I don't even know what that means.
My immediate reaction says, well, Inter Miami makes just perfect sense for everybody involved. It's exactly what Chris Henderson, it's exactly what Neville needs, it's exactly what Jorge Mas and David Beckham would want. A player that could be on the field, do things for you, and a player that might feel semi-comfortable with the city and said coach. But it's the Galaxy, and we have to address the elephant in the room. Douglas Costa has not been good. He was a mistake for the LA Galaxy. If you could somehow, because per Taylor Twellman, he thinks both LA teams are in play. If you could somehow move Douglas Costa, get him out of there, and free up this designated player spot for a Jesse Lingard, I honestly think the Galaxy are one starting piece away from being a championship contending team. With Greg Vanney, I honestly feel that. If you can get Javier Hernandez, more looks, Jovic is easing the pressure off him. You can get a quality player in that attacking third with those 2, you've got yourself something.
I think we take LAFC and Orlando out of this mix almost immediately, right? Because they don't necessarily need the player the most. I feel like LA Galaxy need it from an almost buzz perspective, right? Like all we're talking about recently when it comes to MLS transfers and really Los Angeles soccer out of Angel City FC, it's what LAFC is doing. It's what they're doing in the transfer market. So LA Galaxy, I think, need to strike back in some way. This would be big to that extent, although, again, it's not the star power move. It's not the Zlatan move. I think Inter Miami, though, at some point, doesn't Inter Miami need to prove to the people down there that they're serious about soccer? Have they had a signing yet that's done that?
Not big name. They tried, but that's the thing. They've already tried going down that route. Excuse me. Blaise Matuidi. You've had Higuain. You've tried that. Campana happened to be one of your better players, and that wasn't the route you were going for. It just happened to be, can he help me on the field? So maybe they continue going that route. I've got no doubt that Chris Henderson will right this ship because he's got that Garth Lagaway school of thought in him, if you will, and he's been doing good things. You've seen the change. But I agree with you. Maybe not so much as they need this to keep pace, because I don't think that's the question here with LAFC, but they're a team that's always been serious about winning. They're a team that's always chased the titles. Now, if you want to chase the title, you're still missing that piece. Inter
Miami also just brought in Alejandro Pozuelo. It's not a contract extension yet, so we don't know how long he'll be there. But you gotta think about that as well. Do you need Lingard and Pozuelo? Maybe you do. Maybe Inter Miami needs both. I think you could probably make that case.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.